Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we have something quite a little different than what we usually do. But for the people that don't know me, hey, I'm Marsh. I'm the #1 Bloodhound in Apex Legends. My stats are on screen right now. I'm a console player. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you guys for clicking on this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if ever you do like it. For the people that do know me or that follow me or come from any other platform, I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here and supporting me as usual. So today we will be doing a Season 9 tier list of every gun in Apex Legends. So this list is a little long, so for the people that don't want to wait, skip to around 23 minutes and 45 seconds. Should be there. I'm in the firing range for most of this video. And the finished product is at around that time. So this tier list will be based on ranked gameplay. So in a ranked game, what I would like to have a high pred lobby. And this is a personal opinion for anybody who's about to burn me at the stake for whichever opinion I have. I know, for example, some of you guys love the RE. It has a little cult going around it that lives by the RE45. Don't kill me for what I ranked it. I promise I don't hate the gun. It's just what I would rather have. And it's completely fine to have a different opinion. As an experienced player, I've played this game a lot. I know what I like and I know what I would like to have. People will differ and that's completely fine. But again, let me know what you guys would change in the comments. I'll be looking at them. I'll try to like every single one of them and read it. So we're going to start off the list with the guns on the right, going all the way towards the left. So I'll be starting off with the snipers. Now to start it off, I picked up my favorite sniper, the charge rifle. This is the one I use the most in ranked. So the charge rifle, there's an insane amount. This is a purple guy. Just let me shoot him in the head. 116 in the head, 90 on the body. Now this gun, I don't think you guys understand how powerful this gun is. There is no bullet drop off. There is no bullet velocity issues. The bullet is there instantly. There's no damage drop off. Now what makes this gun so good is the ability to break shields at range, run your enemies out of heals, and just the ability to level up your shield. Now if I had a shield right now, if I picked up a shield, you guys would see just how fast I can level up the shield. If you have a 3x sight on it, like I said, fully kitted to your preference, this gun is just insane. This gun honestly takes an S tier for me. We're going to start off the list strong with an S tier. The charge rifle in a ranked situation is probably one of the best long range weapons you can possibly ask for. So second up on the list is Sentinel. This personally again is the second favorite sniper in rank that I will use. This gun too does an insane amount of damage. For example, not charged up, 140 to the head, and then I think 70 to the body. And then charged up. Give it a second to do its thing. 176 to the head, and to bodies 88. Now this has insane damage, but compared to the Sentinel, this gun does have bullet drop off, so my cursor is clearly over the target. Still hits. So this doesn't matter at ranges like this where the drop off isn't too bad, but the farther you go, the harder the drop off for the bullet gets. So let's say I try to shoot all the way down there, I need to go like higher here for the bullet to actually hit. The charge up does eat up 2 heals, 2 cells, which is a downside to me too. And the bullet velocity is not there, so let's say I am a little in front of the target and a little too up front. I am up front, the target that is moving will still hit it, but that means you have to actually plan your shots. Unlike the charge rifle where you can just track them and hit the full charge. Depending on what shield you have, with a gold shield where you can stack up a lot of cells where cells won't be a problem, this gun is an S tier for me personally. But since most of the time you do not have a gold shield, you have reds, you don't have a lot of cells, so you can't charge it up, so the gun does not reach its max potential all the time and will eat up your heals, which will put you in a bad spot. I'm gonna have to dumb this gun down to an A tier. It's very good in the right situation, can be absolutely clutch and better than a charge rifle, but just because of its sheer like eating of your heals and drop off bullet velocity, which is not as good as the charge rifle, I'm gonna have to put this gun in A tier. Also to add to it, this gun kind of defeats the purpose of leveling up your shields, because you're leveling up your shield, which takes more to heal, but you're eating up your heals to do so. So this gun definitely is an A tier for me in most situations. So let's move on to the next one. So the longbow. This gun is a shadow of what it once was. Back in the early days of the game, the longbow was a very good gun. It was meta. Same as the Sentinel bullet drop off. I think the longbow's drop off is a little more insane. Let me try a little higher. It's about the same as Sentinel, and bullet velocity is about the same as Sentinel too. Again, this gun doesn't do too much damage. Its damage is actually pathetic compared to the other snipers. It does a measly 55. It shoots a little faster. On a good player's hands, I would put the longbow at an A tier. But again, regular players and even myself, the longbow doesn't go over a B tier. Its headshot multiplier is good, but again, without the skull piercer to back it up, I don't think this gun does better than a B tier. So I'm gonna throw the longbow in a B tier. Its damage is not there, and you're gonna be like, Marsh, well, the headshot does 120. You try hitting full headshots on a full squad, alright? So I'm gonna throw the longbow in a B tier. It's not the greatest sniper. It'll do the job. It's a good gun. It's not too bad to have in endgame, but again, I would drop it for any one of these other two snipers. So moving on to the light category, the first one on the list is the RE45. Now, before everybody crucifies me, because I know there's a cult of you guys out of the Apex community that live by the R45, that breathe by the R45, and that die by the RE45. You guys swear that it is the best gun in the game and there's nothing that compares to it. Honestly, the RE45 isn't all that. Like, it's a good gun. It'll do the job if you need it. Off drop is not a terrible gun, but like, you see any of these guns and tell me you're not dropping the RE45. So the RE45 doesn't do too much. A headshot is 18 and a body shot is 12. Its fire rate is very good. Its recoil isn't too bad. Its range is not the greatest. It's there, but it's not the greatest. As for a ranking, I'm gonna have to throw the RE45 into a B tier again. Actually, I'm gonna throw the RE45 into a C tier because you don't want this gun endgame. You're gonna get absolutely clobbered. So RE45, C tier. Don't kill me, I promise. I don't mean any harm to your little RE. I love it. It's there, but it doesn't output what it needs to do to be a B tier weapon. So moving on to the P20. This gun is again a remnant of what it once was, with hammer point and fully kitted and insane fire rate before the rework. Honestly, A tier, S tier. I had to put it between that, but now his damage is... I can't even say bad because I would literally feel bad for the P20. Its damage output is pathetic. His fire rate is pathetic. 18 damage a bullet is not bad, but just because it shoots so slow, it just doesn't do anything. Full headshots, imagine having a P20 endgame. It's just not good. All the way down D tier. The gun is terrible. Nobody can tell me it's not dog shit. The only thing I want to do when I have a P20 is literally just... So moving on to the R301. This one has me excited. The R3 is amazing. It's my baby. I love it. Got my little pred charm on it. This gun is absolutely amazing. 25 damage to the head. How much to the body? 14? What I thought, but then it did 25 for some reason on the second shot. But whatever. The R301 is a straight laser beam. This shit will knock people 50 meters out in a straight line. It's got good amount. One clip potential is insane. This gun is stable, outputs a lot of damage, uses light ammo. It's great for every situation. Endgame ranked with 100% take. It's a great gun. Honestly, R301 is just S tier all the way. I don't think I'm gonna cut for the R9. R9 is sort of the same situation. This gun outputs an insane amount of damage. It's pretty accurate. It's insanely accurate. If a player is good with it, you can beam at insane ranges. I think I can beam this guy though. But this gun outputs an insane amount of damage. Uses light ammo. It's great at what it does. It's a close range weapon. Will make anything apart from an EVA 8 will get melted by this thing. Both R301 and R99 are both S tier. It's the R400 combo. They've always been around the game. They're iconic. Both of them S tier. So the alternator. This is like how can I compare it? Probably the RE45's cousin who's made it in life. The alternator's good. Now, what makes this gun great is the fact that the alternator's mechanic is a double barrel gun, so it makes it very, very stable. You can beam at insane ranges with this gun, and even though it's considered a sub, I kind of consider it a pistol, an automatic pistol, but like the RE45. I gotta put this gun a little higher than the RE just because of the stability it gives, and the hip fire is great. For example, if I hip fire from here and just kept shooting, just look at this. The hip fire is great, the accuracy is great. Damage output is good, but not up there. So honestly, this gun is very mid. I wouldn't pick it up end game, but definitely keeping until mid game isn't too much of an issue. Alternator is a good gun. It's a good old reliable. Definitely B tier, not A tier, but definitely not C tier. As for the last light ammo gun, the G7 Scout, or like I like to call it, the Scoot. This gun is honestly great. It gets a lot of its power from spraying and praying and the amount of damage it can output at long ranges. Now, if somebody's running through an open field and you got a G7 Scout, that guy's toast. The tracking on this gun can be insane. Even though the bullet drop-off is kind of big, it doesn't matter too much with the G7 just because of the firepower it's got. I'd honestly put this gun in A tier. It doesn't matter if you have it in end game. Again, there are better options, such as, for example, the charge rifle. But this gun is good. It will melt somebody in an open field. It's great for people peeking heads. Again, you don't have to spam fire. You can tap fire it and just get your shots in. Definitely an A tier weapon. It's solid. But there are a couple better options than the G7 for what it does. Now we're gonna move on to the 3030. This is like the heavy ammo G7. This gun. This one's complicated for me. Sort of like the G7, but to reach its max potential, you have to charge it up. Charge up is worth it for tap fires, for head peeking. Potential is there, as it doesn't cost anything to charge up. It's great. The reload is a little slow, but it's worth it for the charge up. This little cancel out. The shatter cap is for close range. It's not bad. It's sort of like a mini EVA 8. Like the damage is not terrible. But honestly, just because of the shatter caps and the headshot potential with like 100 damage, even on a purple helmet, I'm gonna throw this one in A tier. Without the shatter caps, I would probably throw it in a B tier. But just because if ever your your close range weapon runs out, you can always switch it. This one's close range and sort of have a little potential with it. I'm gonna throw it in A tier. It's a good gun. It's not the best, but it's good. There are some better options out there, but you know what? Just let me throw the 3030 in the B tier. It's good. It's just I feel bad putting it in the A tier because there's some better weapons in A tier, and I feel like all the A tier weapons should be pretty much on an equal standing. I'm gonna throw the 3030 in a B tier. Last second, sorry for the confusion. It's good, but it just I don't know. I feel like the charge up is a little long. The reload is a little long. The body damage just isn't great for the fire rate. It does stun you, that's good. The shatter caps are useful, but it's a very last minute situation. Gonna throw this one into B tier. So this video is getting a little long, so I'm gonna try to stop cutting in between things, just go through guns. Wingman. What the fuck is the attachment? Quick draw? Oh, okay, quick draw, yeah. I forgot that attachment was even in the game. I never used it. Wingman is very good. The Wingman has insane potential for an insane player. I'm not the greatest with the Wingman. I can hit some shots, but I can't hit all my shots with it. Again, Wingman is great for peeking, for outputting insane damage as headshots. For a good player, this gun will be great. It's as good as the player is. Personally, if I have it in endgame, I'm not too upset about it. It's a good gun. There are some better options than the wingman out there, but I don't mind having it endgame. Definitely an A tier for me. The wingman can output insane damage and can change a fight if you get 1, 2, or even 3 good headshots on the team. Definitely a great gun, very solid since the beginning of the game. Spitfire. This gun right here is the bane of my existence. I hate the gun. I would drop it off the map every single time I would. I would take it out of the game. It is beyond overpowered. I don't even pick the gun up. Now, a lot of people are not going to like me because I say I hate the Spitfire. Well, I hate it. It's too good. This gun has no recoil. It stuns enemies and I never stop shooting. Like, I can go from one guy and never stop shooting and kill the other right here. And I'm barely aiming. I'm literally just shooting in their general direction. Uses heavy ammo, no recoil. Never stuns you. This gun is insanely overpowered. Absolutely S tier. It's not even up for debate. I hate it, but I gotta give it its credit. The Hemlock is good. The Hemlock for me is still... It used to be S tier. Just because if ever I switch to it... It's A tier for me right now, but just because I switched before, got hipfire. It used to be S tier, but now they nerfed the hipfire, so I'm gonna have to put it into A tier. It's a great gun, definitely not as overpowered as the Spitfire, but it's definitely very viable. I'm not upset if I have it in endgame. I would even pick it up endgame. Same goes for the Flatline. Solid A tier. A very good gun. The only thing that stops it from being a S tier is honestly the insane kick that this gun has and the side-to-side recoil this gun's got. This gun is definitely solid. It is great for endgame, for ranked situation. You can melt somebody nicely, it stuns them. Great gun overall, definitely A tier. Now we're gonna move on to the Volt. The Volt. This one right here is phenomenal. It is one of the best additions in Apex in my opinion. A very balanced gun. Definitely S tier for me too. It melts people, but is very stable at the same time. It's like the R99. It'll melt people a little slower, but it'll melt people at longer ranges than the R99. Definitely an S tier. There's nothing much to say about it. It's a great gun overall. It holds its own in any situation. The Devotion. Now with a turbocharger, this gun it's great. For close range, it'll absolutely melt an opponent. The thing that kills me about the Devotion is, again, the recoil, the side to side. This is definitely an A tier weapon. It'll do its job and it does it well. But when it comes to melting people on mid ranges, there's better secondaries in the Devotion. It's heavy, so your strafe speed is not good, and it's a close range weapon, so you don't get to aim a lot with it. But solid A tier, it'll hold its own. I'm not upset if I have it as a secondary endgame. I'll throw the Havoc in A tier as well. Again, this gun is solid. Even for mid ranges, this gun is solid. It's missing that something for S tier. It used to be S tier in Season 4 with the recoil nerfs, but now it is a solid A tier. I'm not upset if I have a Havoc endgame too. It's great for what it does. The recoil is a little wonky time to time, but it's definitely solid. Now the L-Star. There's a lot of controversy around the L-Star lately. The L-Star is a solid weapon, especially in arena as in beginning game. This gun is broken, but we are talking ranked endgame situation. Versus a red shield does not fare very well because the overheating is very, very quick. With the Rampart, this gun is S tier, of course. It is great. But without Rampart, I would not keep it endgame. It definitely is a B tier for me. There's nothing much to say about the L-Star. Overheat is a little too quick to be A tier. But apart from that, it's a great gun. The bow check. This gun is great. Ever since it came out, it's been one of my favorite guns in the game. I don't use it too much just because it is very overpowered and I don't like using overpowered guns too much. But the bow check is insane. It used to be a little better. Ever since the nerf, it became a little more balanced, but it's still a 2-tap to the head, a 4-tap to the body. The damage output is insane. There's almost no bullet drop-off. Bullet velocity is amazing. It uses a special type of ammo. The stacks are decently big. Keep going to my settings. So for 28 a stack, the Bocek definitely is an S tier weapon. If you can pick it up, it's great for everything it does. I'm throwing every single one of these ones in S tier too. There's nothing really to say about it. I'm not even going to put them on the list. So all these are S tier. Kraber and Prowler I consider a little better than the triple take, but triple take is solid. Mozambique. Now this one is pretty much of a hot take for me, but everybody says the Mozambique is bad, and I don't see it as bad. I see the P20 as half the might of the Mozambique, especially with the new buff it got. Let me put a purple bolt on this. This gun is not terrible. Like endgame, definitely don't keep it, but pre-game, even somebody finds a purple shield, you can quote unquote one clip them with a Mozam. Even at ranges, it'll output damage for you to get those last second knocks as a secondary. It's not terrible. Definitely a C tier weapon. I wouldn't put it all the way down to a P20. It's up there with the RE with me. Mastiff and PK. These are complicated to rank because I feel like they're good, but in their own situations. The Mastiff is a good weapon. It's a remnant of what it once was, like sort of like the longbow. It's not as bad as the longbow got nerfed, that's for sure, but it's definitely not up on the S tier anymore. Back when the Mastiff meta was a thing, I would definitely put the Mastiff in on S tier, but now I'd put it a solid A tier. Same thing with PK. It would be an S tier if the charge up was faster, but look how slow this is before I can shoot. It does good damage, sort of like a Mastiff close range on a charge up. The only thing that kills it for me from putting it in an S tier again is the shape of which it shoots, which is a star. Now, this makes for very unequal damage distribution. It'll hit 90s, then it'll hit 60s, then it'll hit 40s, then it'll hit 100. This is definitely an A tier weapon if you know how to use it in up close, but I wouldn't use it in mid range. Now the EVA 8, this is my favorite shotgun out of every other shotgun. This shotgun is beyond solid. It will melt somebody in no time. This melts faster than an R99 at close range. It is one of the most solid weapons in the game, if not the most solid currently. I feel like the EVA 8 is broken, but not to a point where it needs to be nerfed. I feel like it's a very good addition to the game. I love the meta with the EVA 8 inside it. And that's about it for the ranked tier. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be putting a little list every single time I rank a gun in there, and I will show you guys the list at the end. If ever you guys want a screenshot or anything, I'm gonna put the list on the end of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, this is a personal opinion, so don't get upset if I put your favorite gun too low, and it's not my intention to put it that low, but it's how I view it in a ranked situation. These guns is what I would pick up in order. S tiers first, A tiers are good, but I would drop for an S tiers. B tiers are not too bad, but again, you might be in a little trouble. C tiers, you're in shit, and if you have a D tier, you're rocking P20s, might as well leave the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Let me know what your list would be, what you guys would change, and I will see you guys in the next video.